Oh yeah, this is awesome. Oh, that's disappointing. Speaking of disappointments, have you ever heard of the AT game Sega Genesis? So this is the AT game Sega Genesis. It promises 80 built-in games, but only about 40 of them are actually real Sega Genesis games. The rest of them are actually bootleg Brazilian games made by AT Games or a company called DevWorks. So this is what the physical console looks like if you're curious. There's nothing too special about it. It's just kind of a Sega Genesis looking console. This is what the controller that comes with the console looks like. It uses the same technology as your TV remote, so I would just use an actual Sega Genesis controller. These things suck. So for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to play every single one of these bootleg games and see if there's any good ones. So, let's get to it! Alright, so this first game is called Air Hockey, alright? So, you open it up, and you get rewarded with probably the best sound you've ever heard in your life. Just listen to this. Alright, so you look at the instructions, and you look in the bottom corner and read, Good Lucky. Good Lucky? Good Lucky. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. So as you would expect, the game is not good. It's a really bad version of air hockey, where for some reason the goals are on the corners of the table. I've never played air hockey like that, but maybe in Brazil that's how they do it. I don't know, but this is it. This is air hockey, and it sucks. So this next game is called Black Sheep. It kind of is in a category on this collection I like to call quiz games, where it's just like these brain age kind of quiz things you do, where you either get an X or a 0 on the screen, and at the end of the stupid minigame or the timer runs out, you get scored. There's like 18 of them on this collection, and so I'm not going to go through all of them because they're all basically the same, but they're all pretty bad. So you got Brain Switch, and then you get Mega Brain Switch because somebody asked for a sequel. One of these quiz games is actually called Space Hunter. How do you screw up a game called Space Hunter? That's like a freaking cool name. Like you just put somebody in space and they blow stuff up. But no, it's a puzzle game where you do math. So anyway, that's the quiz games. In conclusion, don't play them. So this next game is called Bomber. Bomber. This game happens to be the biggest Bomberman ripoff you've ever seen in your life. So you look at the instructions and it says, blow your enemies. Blow your enemies. Blow your enemies. Blow your enemies. Enemies. I can't. Blow your enemies. This is a kid's game. You blow your enemies. But anyway, this is probably the first game ever to have the title screen be the best part of the game. It's just a crappy Bomberman ripoff with one stage, and for some reason it says dot in the corner. So this next game called Bottle Taps. Not bottle caps. It's bottle taps. So I looked it up, and a bottle tap's not really a thing. They just spelt it wrong. That's how much effort they put into these games. They didn't even fact check if they spelt the title right, so bottle taps. And it's the most boring racing game you've ever played. You literally just pick a trajectory of where you want your bottle tap to go, and you shoot it in that direction. It's only one player, and so you always gotta play against the CPU, and this is it. This is the action of bottle taps. Yeah, so after playing for a while, I lost. It sucks. This game sucks. So this next game is called Cannon. Looks really exciting. And it's like the worst version of tanks you've ever played. You have one shot, one gun, and you can't move. You just shoot back and forth, and there's wind, and you gotta, I guess, account for the wind, and that's it. You also die in one hit, and then it's just, the game's done. So, not much to say there. So next we got Chinese checkers, which is literally just Chinese checkers. And then you got chess, which you would think, how do you screw up chess? But they did, with the worst 3D graphics you've ever seen. I mean, look at this. Can you tell what those 3 pieces are? They're like 3D images just splashed onto each other and you can't tell what is what. But all in all, it's just chess. Nothing special. So this next game is called Cross the Road, and wait, what is that? Is it like some kind of dog or something? I don't know, it's Cross the Road, we don't ask questions here. So it's probably the worst version of Frogger you've ever played. You can't move backwards for some reason, and the A button moves you forward. I don't know whose idea that was. And there's just sometimes too many cars and there's nothing you can do because you can't win and you can't go backwards. It sucks. So why is this dog even crossing the road in the first place? Probably to get in a better game. So next we got Curling 2010, probably the sequel to Street Fighter 2010, and it's not curling, it's dodgeball or something. I don't know, there's no instructions, you just hit start and start throwing balls back and forth. Whoever has the most balls at the end wins. How is it that you can make a game and call it curling, okay? The title of your game is curling. And you don't know what curling is. You never looked it up. You were just like, Curling 2010. Yeah, I know what curling is. Like, did they do research? But in the game's favor, it was one of the few games on here I actually was able to win, so that's something. This is Fish Story, one of those other games with no instructions. Basically, you just commit fish genocide. You just eat as many fish as you can, get bigger, and eat bigger fish. And you just keep eating fish. The hitboxes in this game are also total garbage, by the way. You know, if Qui-Gon Jinn were ever make a game, this would be it.
There's always a bigger fish.
So this next game's gonna totally blow your mind. It's called Jax P. Jax P. They named the game Jax P. Granted, it's PEA, so I guess it's not gross or phallic, but Jax P. Jax P. Who's Jack? Why does he have a P? Is it Jack and the Beanstalk? Did they not even know the difference between a pea and a bean? So I got major problems with this game. First of all, it's the most boring piece of crap you've ever played. You just sit on these platforms and go back and forth, wait for it to get under you, then you jump with the worst scrolling you've ever seen in your life, and you just jump. Forever. It's like Doodle Jump, but so bad. So this next game's called Jewel Thief, which is a ripoff of Columns, which is a game that's already on this system. So you can play the ripoff and the original on the same system. Amazing. You know, playing Jewel Thief on the AT Games Sega Genesis, when there's Columns, it's like going to Sam's Club and buying those Frito-Lay chip packs, and they put some great value chips in there too. Alright, so next up we got Mahjong. Alright, Mahjong. How do you screw up Mahjong? It's a classic. It's a game that's been played by people for thousands of years. How do you screw it up? They probably found a way. Oh, they found a way, alright. This is probably the worst game on here. And I mean, listen to that music. Okay, now get this. To move the cursor across the screen, you have to press the direction button multiple times. You cannot hold it down. You have to tap it. You know, this game's physically hurting me from having to mash the button to move the cursor across the screen. Like, I think I'm literally getting carpal tunnel. It also doesn't help that these are the most putrid graphics you've ever seen in your life. So that's enough bad games I can handle for right now. I can't play any more of this, so tune in next time. There'll be another part, and we'll try to finish this.